Howdy, Jake with Green Pro again. So this is the third part of our video. There's really only two reasons you're watching this. Number one, you want to be educated on all things septic and you're really curious, or you've been given the bad news that drip irrigation is your only option for wastewater for your lot. Rest assured, Green Pro has experience doing these systems and will get you the best drip irrigation system that you can that can be put on your property, but that's going to come with a price tag because these systems are very complicated. Let's go into some details. We talked about this gallon per day treatment plant. Pre-treatment is a must, is a requirement by most manufacturers. So you're gonna see anywhere from a 500 to 1,000 gallon pre-treatment tank in front of your treatment plant. So we're already adding cost. As we go forward, we're gonna come out into this 98.8% pure water. With a drip irrigation, we need 2.5 times the daily flow of another tank to come into. Why? Is because this system is time dosed, meaning it's only going to run as the ground can absorb the water, not based on demand like the other two systems are based on. So if you've got a 500 gallon per day home, we've got to go 2.5 times that. So we're times 2, we're at 1,000, another half, we're at 1,250 gallons. They don't make such a tank. You're going to be looking at a 1,500 gallon tank right past this treatment plant. Again, adding cost. Out of there, we're going to come with a pump, just like in the spray irrigation, but instead of coming to some spray heads, we're going to duck underground and we're going to go through sometimes a few hundred, most of the time several thousand feet of very fine tubing. That tubing is going to be laid through your yard, approximately 3 to 7 inches deep, about 12 to 3 feet apart, depending on the soil characteristics. And we're talking about a lot here. Sometimes we're gonna have to bring in sand to put back on top of this system. These lines are very, very small. They're about 1/2 inch with small, tiny little holes in them called emitters. You can imagine that if this water is not absolutely pure, that these tiny little holes are gonna get stopped up with anything that's more than 98.8% pure. Those drop that water off, they drip, drip, drip. Here's the reason for the drip name, into the soil and get that spread out over a massive surface area. But that can be wrapped around many things. And so a big lot, a small lot with a big home, these can be wrapped in different places in order to take the most amount of space when setbacks, because on a drip irrigation field, instead of only needing 15 feet setbacks, we can get down to as low as 5 and even lower with an engineered design. This pipe then comes out, comes around, and actually goes back into the treatment side. It'll dump into the top of the tank here and go through retreatment again to make sure this is making a circular system. There's filters in this system that filter that water to make sure it's fine enough to go into the drip irrigation system. There's timer panels that go on the side of the house that make sure this system only gets enough flow that the soil can handle. There's a lot of complexity to this system, a lot of time spent on site, and you're going to see some pretty large price jumps if you look into getting this type of system. Drip is cool because you don't have the spray field, wintertime isn't affected by it, and it has a massive volume, so pumping out isn't as frequent as you might suspect on these other type systems. This is drip irrigation. We'll be looking forward to working for you soon.